Maths lesson. This is Monday, the 27th of April 2020. Lesson 5. Our objective today is to relate tenths and decimals. Decimals. This word begins with DEC. Can you think of any more words that begin with DEC? Decagon. That's a shape with 10 sides. Decade. That means 10 years. Now, our tens frame shows a whole one. It's been split into 10 equal parts, but this can help us with decimals. First of all, let's look at what each of the counters means. One counter is worth 1/10. Now, let's look at how we can count up in tenths. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, count with me, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10. 10/10 equal a whole. Now, let's look at this place value grid. We've used this before, hundreds, tens and ones. Now pause the video while you get a pencil or a pen and some paper and copy down the grid. What I'd like you to do is to write 4 numbers using the place value grid. I know you can do this. Off you go. Here's a number that I made. What number is it? 153. That's correct. I have 100s, 5 tens and 3 ones. Here's another number. What's my number? 86. 8 tens and 6 ones. We don't have to put anything in the hundreds column because there's nothing there. Now, what's this number? That's correct. It's 7. 7 ones. There are no tens and no hundreds. My last number, what is it? 504, correct. There are 500s, no tens and 4 ones. Don't forget that we need to put a 0 in the tens column to show there are no tens. Now if we're using tenths, we need to add a new place value column. The place value column goes to the right of the ones column. This is because tenths are smaller than ones. Just like ones are smaller than tenths and tenths are smaller than hundredths. We use a decimal point to write numbers containing tenths. Can you see the decimal point here? Here we have a tenth being represented in the place value grid. There are no ones, but there is 1/10. We write this as the number is 0.1. Look at this place value grid. How many ones are there? That's correct. There are no ones. How many tenths are there? That's correct. There are 6 tenths. We write this number as 0.6. Let's have a go at this one. How many ones are there? That's right, there are 0 ones. And how many tenths are there? 7 tenths. So how can we write this number using decimals? That's correct. The number is 0.7. Now, let's have a look at this place value grid. Notice we are now using counters to represent our place values. How many ones are there? 3 ones. How many tenths are there? 4/10. How do you think we write this number as a decimal? 3.4. Were you correct? Let's count now in tenths using decimals. 1/10 is 0.1. 2/10, 0.2. 3/10, 0.3. 4/10, 0.4. 5/10, 0.5. Count with me. 6/10, 0.6. 7/10, 0.7. 8/10, 0.8. 9/10, 0.9. And 10/10, well, that's a whole one. Let's have a go at question number 1. We've got to complete the table. Pause the video while you have a go. Question number 2. Match each bar model to the equivalent decimal. Here's a clue. Count the number of shaded squares. Could that be the number that's in the 10th place value? And the last one to have a go is number 3. Mo is using a place value chart to represent his numbers. Can you write each number as a decimal in the box below? Don't forget to include your decimal point. Number 4. Now you have to draw the counters to represent the numbers. 0.3. Where will the counters go? In the ones column or the tenths column? Continue with B, C and D. Number 5. Can you continue this pattern? 1/10, 0.2, 3/10, 4/10, 0.5, 6/10. Can you see that sometimes it's a fraction, sometimes it's a decimal, and sometimes there are words? Can you continue? Pause the video while you check your answers. So let's carry on with the lesson. This number line has been divided into 10 equal parts. The number line is divided into 10 equal parts so we can count in tenths. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 1 whole. But let's have a look at decimals. 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Are you counting? 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, a whole one. Now have a go at questions 6 and 7. Pause the video. What decimal in each arrow is each arrow pointing to? Remember to count along the number line. Question 7. Place the decimals on the number line. Remember to count on the number. That will give you a clue. Here are the answers. Pause the video while you check your answers. Let's have a look at these two place value charts. It's asking us which number is greater. So first of all, let's look at the first place value. What is this number? There are no ones, but there are 5/10. The number must be 0.5. Our other place value chart has no ones, but 3/10, 0.3. So 5/10 is greater than 3/10. We can also write this: 0.5 is greater than 0.3. But what happens if we use this symbol? Can you remember what this means? Yes, this is pointing to the smaller number. 0.5 is greater than 0.3. The symbol means greater than. It always points to the smaller number. Have a look at these two place value charts. Can you complete the sentences? 4/10 is greater or less than 6/10. What do you think? That's correct. 4/10 is less than 6/10. We can say this: 0.4 is less than 0.6. But what symbol needs to go in the circle? Remember where it points? Yes, 0.4 is less than 0.6. Have a look at this one. What's the same and what's different about these numbers? Here I can see one whole one. Here I can see 10/10. But hold on a minute, we can't have 10 in one place value, so what do we need to do? Yes, if we have 10/10, we have to exchange. We exchange them for 1. I'm going to exchange those 10 for 1. So 1 is equal to 1/10, and these two numbers are the same. Now have a go at the rest of the questions. Pause the video while you write them down. Here's the answers. Remember, no peeking before. Were you correct? If you weren't correct, please go back and do your corrections. Whoa, well done for today. Take some photos of your work and email them to me so you can collect your dojos. And remember, stay at home and stay safe. Thank you.